Good evening. First tonight, the council's under pressure to meet the demand for more housing. Across this region, it's estimated that we need more than 58,000 new homes. And despite thousands being built over the past 5 years, we're not really making a dent in that figure. But with the average home here costing £288,000, more than 10 times the average salary, what the region is crying out for is affordable homes. Every council is now meant to have a plan detailing how many properties they need and where they should go. But in Uttlesford, on the Cambridgeshire-Essex border, that plan has been met with anger. Sam Reid is there for us tonight. Sam, how many properties are we talking about?
14,100. That's across the district over the next 15 years. So how are they going to do it? Basically, they want to build 3 garden villages, one near Stansted Airport, one near Braintree and one here in Great Chesterford. I'm not far from the Cambridgeshire border, and there's a consultation on a plan that would eventually see 5,000 new homes here. The weather isn't showing it off, but it's still the English countryside. Fields that in the decades to come could be covered by 5,000 homes.
As far as you can see. It goes beyond the hillside, it goes way up to that mast over there. Campaigners say the area just can't cope. On roads, infrastructure, on access to and from the site and the motorways, schooling will be a major issue. GP practices, they're already way overstretched. If that doesn't go in concurrent with the building rather than afterwards, then we will have major problems in this area. In the village pub, it's clear feelings are strong.
The idea of a village of 5,000 new homes that so far has no infrastructure plans that get built into it as a plan is a nonsense.
A lot more traffic coming through here. The local train service is reasonable, but the car park at the station is negligible.
Almost all of us are concerned about it because it'll just blight the whole area.
There's also concern in neighbouring villages like Hinxton, over the border in Cambridgeshire.
It's positioned there largely because the farmers who own the land would like to sell it, which is very understandable. But as a way of siting what could be the second largest town in the Uttlesford District, it seems absolutely balmy.
These homes will be one of 3 new garden villages across this part of Essex designed to meet the demand for new homes. But despite all the local opposition, the local district council are pressing ahead. They say the houses have to go somewhere.
We have to find places for nearly 6,000 homes, and it's probably a fair assumption that people wouldn't want them anywhere. But I think there's also a moral case. There is a housing shortage. We have nearly 1,000 people on our social housing waiting list. Housing prices in this area are particularly high, beyond the reach of anybody on an average wage.
It could be 40 years until the full 5,000 homes have an impact here, which is a long time away when many say the shortage of houses is being felt now. Sam Reid, BBC LookEast, Great Chesterford.
Well, councils were meant to start thinking about their local housing plans back in 2004. So how is it that some authorities still don't have one? I asked Henry Pryor, a housing expert from Hertfordshire.
Well, stunningly, around 60% of local authorities across the country don't yet have a formal local plan, and it's causing chaos not just for local communities but also for the local and national government. Inevitably there's been some resistance, some reluctance and probably some laziness on behalf of local authorities who have been stretched, particularly in their planning departments of late. So inevitably that has knocked on to some delays, and indeed, as far as local plans are concerned, some considerable delays as we've seen.
We have, of course, seen thousands of homes being built, and yet we still don't seem to have made much of a dent in the housing shortage. Why do you think that is?
Well, the demand is outstripping the supply. When we look back at the 2011 census, we can see that we've got more people here, we've got people living longer, we've got families splitting up, and we've got teenagers growing up quicker. All of these people put a pressure on local authorities to make homes available, and I'm afraid it's something that we're now perhaps paying a price for that we should have sorted out a generation ago.
Do you think these sites are chosen because they are the best place for developments to be, or do you think it's simply because that is the land that someone wants to sell?
I don't think it is the latter. I suspect that local authorities are damned if they do and damned if they don't. Remember that all these new developments, whether they're 1, 2 or 3, 100 units at a time, all require services in the shape of transport, schools, infrastructure like health, and obviously the communication links of roads and railways. We can't satisfy everybody, but of paramount importance today is finding homes for people, as I say, who want to buy homes and rent them. If we want to be critical of what we've done in the past, it's perhaps that we've discussed things for too much length, we've consulted and we've gone out in order to try and appease the vast majority of people, or as many people as we can, and that, I'm afraid, has proved impractical. We are going to, I'm afraid, find that, as the saying goes, you can't make an omelette without breaking eggs. Some eggs are going to get cracked, and those eggs, I'm afraid, will squeal.
Henry Pryor there.